Hello everyone, Xandero Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in today's video I am going to be bringing everyone a deck profile video for the unionarena card game. Yes, and we are talking about my boy Toto here, the Boogie Woogie. I love this card. He is so cool. Definitely one of my favorite characters in the entire show. Such a powerful character in the show and in the card game, and this deck did get a huge upgrade, and I think that it is getting slept on in the community at the moment. I don't really see a lot of people talking about it, but this Toto is going up in price actually from the first set, because the people who do know about it know that it is such a powerful card. This is the main card of the deck still. It is the Raid Toto. It's going to cost you 5 energy, 1 action point. We have better double energy generators in the deck. He is damage 2, and then when played, this character gains 2,000 BP until the end of the turn. You may choose one character on both your opponent's front line and energy line and swap them. This guy being a 6,000 BP damage 2, and then swapping your opponent's energy line is so strong. Now, it's not removal for a 5-drop, but he does always keep the damage 2, and it is a menace when you can really turn this out on turn 3 and put that damage 2 on your opponent or force him to block with something. He is still the main focus of the deck. We have gone down on the Kyoto package a little bit because we have new cards in here, and I kind of want to touch on the new cards after I get through the Totos, because I want to show everyone just what Toto does. I've had this deck built for a long time. I'm very, comfortable with it, and this new package in it really helps out a lot. The only Toto in the deck, we are running 4 of this 5 energy raid Toto. The only Toto I went down on, and a lot of people probably going to be wondering why, is I went down for the 3 energy 1 action point Toto, the color trigger here. 1 energy generator, 3,500 plus BP. I brought him to 2 because I wanted to make room for 2 of the color trigger Mechamaru, because it is such an important card. But I am running 2 of this Toto. If Takada's on your field, it gains 500 BP. Now, I have had to, drop that Takada package a little bit, so that part isn't going to be as relevant as it used to be. I used to max out on her and try to make this guy the, 3 energy kind of rush. This used to be the main focus of the deck because he has activate main, place 1 card from your hand to the sideline. Once per turn, this character gains damage 2. So this would used to be one of the main focuses of the deck. You would try to rush people down with this card, and if you got into the other Toto, that would also help out. But this was really the main focus of the deck. But now that we have some, better energy consistency pieces, we can play more into the 5 energy Toto, and as well as, later on our big drops in the deck, right? But just 2 of the color trigger, 3 energy, 1 action point Toto. We are running 4 of the brand new Toto, and this guy is a menace. It is so good. It's an active trigger in life, 4 energy, 1 action point, double energy generator, which is super important. We got 8 new double energy generators for this deck, which helps this deck just be so streamlined, only needing, 2 characters on the back line to get most of your plays off, and then only playing 1 back there when you're going to raid on top of it for that 5th energy. So important. And this guy, just those stats alone, 4 energy, 1 action point, 3,500 BP, double energy generating, is so strong. Another trigger in life is obviously very welcome, and he has a very simple but very powerful effect. Activate main once per turn. Choose one of your kyotojujutsuhigh affinity cards on the other line from this character and swap it with this character. It is really, really good. This comes up sometimes when you want to apply a lot of pressure with this Toto, but then you want to boogie woogie him back to the other line, move someone else up whenever you need to, or you could do it the other way, right? Like, do all your plays, have him as your double energy generator in the back, and then when there's a free slot, you just switch him out with someone up at the front. Not a bad card. Love this card. Absolutely has to be a 4 of. This one is so absolutely strong. Now, with that being said, we do still run 4 of our 0 energy, 1 action point, 1,500 BP, 1 energy generator Totos. You have to run this one out of 4 of. It is a get trigger in life, which is super, super important. So that gives us, 4, 6, 10 different Totos to raid on to. Like I said, it is still a Toto deck. I only went down on this Toto by 2 because we had to make room for our Mechamaru plays. But with that being said, let's touch on the Mechamaru. We got a brand new Mechamaru, Ultimate Mechamaru Mode Absolute. This is the cool, full version of Mechamaru that we get to see in the show. He is a super, super awesome character, and I thought that he had a great moment in the show. I think he got screwed over a little bit, though. But regardless, it's a 6 energy, 1 action point. I know that seems like a lot, for a card that only has 4,000 BP, but that part does suck. It being 6 kind of sucks. I wish it had just been 5 and the deck would run a lot smoother. But I think that they were scared to give it 5, because with 5 you could run this deck more as just like a Kyoto Jujutsuhigh rush, which you definitely could still do with like a straight up Mechamaru deck and run that low to the ground package. But then you would have issues with the energy generation. So I understand why they made it 6, but it does have a very powerful effect. It says if you have 5 or more other KJ high affinity cards or a Miwa on your field, very specific. If you have just Miwa, you don't need anything else, and that is going to come up more often. That 5 really doesn't matter. We're almost always going to have a Miwa, and she is super important in the deck, and we do run a lot of copies of her, but it gains impact +1. So we got a 6 energy, almost always keeping impact 1 4K body, which is really, really strong. You know, we've seen that on 4 and 5 drops. Having it on a 6 drop is a little costly considering he's not 5,000, but he has a win played effect, which is really, really strong. It is win played, choose one of the following. Choose up to one character with 3,500 less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline. This is super strong, so getting over almost every other card in their decks outside of their raid targets, which is really strong. This combos really well with the other Mechamaru. You have another Mechamaru that is the lower drop when you play it. It's the color trigger that we run 2 of, minus something 1,000. Then when you stack it up with him, now you're able to blow up something that's 4,500 or less. Or you get to choose up to one site on your opponent's field and sideline it. I think that this is a very, very specific and powerful effect. I think that's why they made him a 6 energy 1 action point as well, because this effect is very rare in the card game at the moment, and to have that on a body is really strong. And of course, he's just a raid in life. It's really nice to have another raid target in the deck, and you're already kind of building up to this 5-6 energy play. Most of the time, you're just at 6 energy, and you know it doesn't really affect you too much. The same turns that you're able to go into your Toto, you're also able to go into your mech, and those plays feel really, really strong. Being able to promote and raid on top, get a damage 2, or get a impact 4,000 and kill a body, that is a humongous play. Now, I do want to go, we are running 4 of that one, and I talked on it before, but we are running 2 of the color trigger Mechamaru. Now, I do think that this is one of the best cards that we got from the set, but I want to run this package this way, so that way I have Toto's and him, and I can kind of run both of them in the same deck. And I think to do that, you have to split the color triggers in the deck. He's 3 energy, 1 action point, so nothing to scoff at. 3,500 BP, 1 energy generation, and it's your color trigger, which is really, really good in purple. When you're playing a purple deck, move up early, swing in early, and block early, so that way if you ever do hit this color trigger, you're able to get it off. It says this card is also treated as Ultimate Mechamaru because we know that is Kokichi Muda. When played, if you have 5 or more other kyotojujutsuhigh affinity cards, or you have a Miwa on your field. Choose up to one character in your opponent's front. It loses 1,000 BP till the end of the turn. This is a very versatile effect because if they have 1,000 BP body on the board, a lot of other effects like this say they have to be over 1,500 BP or something like that. This just is a generic give something a -1,000. We've seen with, the Kokios deck how much a -1,000 effect really, really does hurt your opponent. And this one is really, really good. Now, if I was maxing out on this one, the combo to play him and then play the Ultimate Mechamaru to kill, a 4,500 less BP body would be really, really strong. But we have to make room for our Totos because I think playing a package of both of them is really, really strong. Wait. Hold on real quick. This is actually not right because I don't think I run this card anymore. What was it? I'm missing the double... Yeah, this is supposed to be the other Mechamaru. I accidentally put the wrong card in the deck. Give me just a second. Let's see if we can find it. Mech. There he is. 2 of this guy. Now that's good. There we go. So, the other card, sorry for making a mistake on that one, doing it on the fly, but the other card that we run that is a Mechamaru is going to be this 2 energy generator Mechamaru. Now, it does not have a trigger. It's a 2 energy, 1 action point Ultimate Mechamaru, 2,500 BP, 1 energy generator. You're almost never putting this on the front line because it says this character, if this character is active, it gains an energy generation. So, really strong here, being able to get that energy generation. Really, really important for us to be able to do that and have another body for us to be able to play out with him, to be able to raid on top of. Have to have this card. And then we're running 4 of the Kokichi Muta Ultimate Mechamaru. It's also treated as Ultimate Mechamaru name, so your Ultimate Mechamaru can raid on top of this. 1,500 BP, get trigger in life. We've seen that on so many other cards before. Alright, those are the main lines, those are the main cards that we're playing out and trying to get to raid into. So, with that being said, the next most important card to talk about is you saw the Miwa that I removed earlier. I used to run that Miwa in the deck, I no longer do. This is the only 4 copies of the deck that I am running, and you don't mind playing this card because you have ways to search it out with your Utahime, and you're going to be drawing some cards, so you're going to see one of these Miwas, and we run it at a 4 of. If you do want to switch this one off for some of the other ones, I definitely can understand that, but I feel like this card is just so powerful, and you need to max it out at a 4 of. She is a 3 energy, 1 action point, 3000 BP, double energy generator, a draw trigger in life, which is a little hard when, we think about only running this 4, but I did not have any issues in the couple games I played this weekend, I promise y'all. When played, draw a card, then place one card from your hand and to your sideline. It's a good cycle card. It's going to let you see your pieces. You're going to play these on the back line, and you only need one of these, and you're going to play it to your back line, so that way you always have that Miwa out. She fixes your energy line, a very, very important piece in the deck. Running it at a 4 of. Now, we are still running a small package of the kind of KJ High Rush style of the deck, right? We are running Momo. This is one of the best cards in the deck. 3 energy, 1 action point, 2500 BP, generation 1 energy. And she says, when played, play up to 1 character with 2 or less required energy, 1 AP cost, and KJ High Affinity from your hand set to resting on the field. You want to really, she is just a combo piece. You're only playing her down to get those big explosive plays. I'm only running her at a 2 of because we want to keep our triggers high, and you really only want to play her one time, right? Because she does drain your hand. You're having to play another character onto the board from your hand. It's set to resting, and now that we have multiple raid targets, being able to play the Kokichi or the Toto off of this effect and then being able to raid is such an amazing play for tempo, because your opponent doesn't see that you have a raid target down, so they're probably assuming you can't get into one without wasting the action points and putting a body down. So she gives you the energy generation on your back line. She lets you play one down the back line. If you have your Miwas out, that's going to put you at 6 energy, which is going to let you raid into your Mechamaru. Hopefully you're able to play the Kokichi off of that. So the combos are there. It is a combo deck. Sometimes you are just going to have some clunky hands, but the stats in this deck are really, really strong. With both of the 3 drops that you're dropping from your Totos and your Mutas being 3500 plus BP, and sometimes you do just hard play down this this Toto here, and he can help get you through the game as well. Alright, we are running 2 of the Takadas. Now, it is just an added benefit that she gives us, the name to boost the other Toto, but that's not one of the main focuses of the deck. Running her at a 2 of, this is the bounce 1 or less to your hand if you cannot return this character to hand. Just another consistent double energy generator that we love to see in the game. Running her at a 2 of, and then we are running 2 of the Utahime Iori. This is 1 energy, 1 action point, 2000 BP. Generation 1 energy is a draw trigger in your life, which is awesome. And this is the searcher for the deck. When played, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 KJ High Affinity card among them, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you added a card to your hand, place 1 card from your hand into your sideline. So a searcher in the deck, but you can see we have a lot of draw triggers in here. In the deck, if we're playing purple, we want to get as many triggers as absolutely possible. Now, the other 0 drop we are running is just 2 of the Gakuganji, the president of the KJ High. I only ran this one because I wanted another decent trigger in the deck. He is a 2000 BP, which comes up. I do like these 2000 BP 0 drops in the game because this is a good way to get over a lot of your opponent's other 1500 BP characters and maybe forcing them to have to block. I am a big proponent to running these active trigger in life 2000 BP bodies, and it just so happens to fit with the KJ High. There are a couple other cards you could play other than this one, but I like this guy a lot. Just being able to, that 2000 BP really does matter a lot. You can see it walls out almost every other 1 drops in the deck, and I do think running these in your deck is a big thing. Now, I am a Fushiguro fanboy for sure. I am including 1 copy of each of these because I pulled an alt art of 1 and I traded for another one. And I did like having the package in the deck in general. It actually worked out better than I thought. So I'm running 1 of this Toshi Fushiguro. It's another draw trigger in line so it doesn't clunk you up. And it's a 6 energy, 1 action point, 5000 BP, 1 energy generator. He is really, really decent. Having that 5000 BP always on the board is really, really strong because he keeps it. Not a lot of other decks that have this get to stay at 5,000 BP. He will come down and stay at 5,000 BP. It is actually a really good card statted out, and the alt art is sick, but I don't think they have it on EX Burst just yet. And the other character that we are running in the deck is the 8 energy 2 action point Toji Fushiguro. This art is sick. The alt art is sick. I'll have to show you guys. Maybe I'll put it in the thumbnail for him to be on there. But he is 4,000 plus BP, so we know we're getting a boost. 1 energy generator, and it says if the combined total of your life and your opponent's life is 4 or less, reduce this character's required energy by 2 while in your hand. So you're going to be at 6 energy a lot just doing your normal plays, so he fits into the deck. Think of him as a 6 energy generator, because if you do see him in your hand early, you're probably going to mulligan him away. And if not, if your hand is really good, he just so happens to be in there, now you know you have an in-game threat that in your hand that you could play for later, right? You get to play him out as active. During your turn, he is a 5,000 BP body. So unlike the 6 cost, which keeps the 5,000, this one only gets to keep it during your turn. And it's just a 4K blocker on your opponent's turn, which is a problem. But when played, he gains impact and snipe until the end of the turn, which we know that combination is so absolutely strong in the game. Say your opponent doesn't see this coming, they have 1 life left, you don't have any other instances of impact on your board, maybe they clear something off and they know that you can't get game from what you have, you play this Toshi down, now you have an impact and you have another way to get into, you know, a winning condition for the game, because only outside of that, you don't have a lot of other ways to get impact other than him and the Mechamaru. So it gives us another, you know, instance of impact, and I think the stats on this card are absolutely crazy because he is a draw trigger. And I wanted to include him to the deck. He is not searchable, but I promise you, every time I saw this card, it felt good. Even when, you know, I was just sitting at the 6 energy and I couldn't find, you know, my Ray targets for the Toto or the Mechamaru, I didn't feel bad playing the Tojis down because they are almost treated like Ray characters. Regardless, this one comes out active, this one does not, but it gives you that 5K blocker, which can save you in a lot of instances. A lot of decks do have an issue getting over a 5K body. Since we are splitting up the deck, I did split out the kill spells in the deck for 2 and 2. I will go over the Boogie Woogie. This kill spell is just so absolutely crazy, so strong. 3 energy, 1 action point. It's your special trigger in life. Choose 1 character, 5,000 less BP on your opponent's front line, and place it at the bottom of your deck. Your opponent plays up to 1 character with 3 or less required energy from their hand set to resting onto their front line. When played, abilities on characters played with this ability do not activate. If Toto is on your field, you draw a card. So you are letting them get a body back, but you get to draw a card and then get rid of something that was an issue at the bottom of their deck. So it gets around the whole not able to get sideline mechanics and all kinds of stuff. This kill spell is really underrated in the deck. Now you do let them play one out, but if they don't have it, which they might not later in the game, have a 3 energy or less in their hand, then now they don't get to play anything. This kill spell is still really, really strong. I'm running it at a 2-up because I wanted to split the kill spells a little differently throughout the deck, because we do have another kill spell, which is going to be Ultra Cannon. This is the move that he used against Mahito in the show. 4 energy, 1 action point, special trigger in life. Choose 1 character with 3,000 less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. So, very versatile here. If Ultimate Mechamaru or Ultimate Mechamaru mode absolute is on your field, 5,000 BP or less. Sometimes you do just want to get rid of something and not give them the chance to play it. So, having that versatility is really, really good. And this one's really cool too, because even if you don't have Mechamaru on the board, sometimes it is worth it to play down the color trigger, reduce something by 1,000, and then now kill it with the Ultra Cannon, which is not a bad play either. This deck is very versatile. It can do a lot of different things, and I'm having a lot of fun playing it. Running for the final triggers, domain expansion. We have to play it. I think that you have to play it with this deck in particular. I know that other deck builds have been getting away with not playing this, but I do think that the final trigger and being able to cheat out an action point per turn is too strong not to play. Now, like I said, this is a purple toolboxy kind of deck. We're running a little bit of everything. We're running some draw power. We're running some double energy generators. We're running some damage too. We're running more damage too. We got instances of impact. We got ways to reduce BP. We got ways to blow bodies up. We got ways to switch our energy line. And now we are just adding a little bit more goodwill event. This card is absolutely busted. I know a lot of people are trying to keep this at a 3 or 4 of in the deck. And I do like this card a lot, but it can be clunky sometimes. I know that sounds weird. Sometimes you just want the body to be able to play out on the board. And I think that this card is good as a 1 or 2 of in the deck. I wouldn't go much more than that, but it is so powerful. So I understand why everyone wants to run it. But when you end up with multiple instances of this card in your hand, you don't have a lot of things that you can do sometimes, right? It's a 3 energy, 1 action point. It's a draw trigger in life, which is absolutely so good. We got so many draw triggers, so we're going to see the cards we need in the deck. Add up to 1 character card with the KJ High affinity from your sideline to your hand. And then play up to 1 character with fulfilled required energy, 1 AP cost, and KJ High affinity from your hand. Set to resting onto your field or perform raid with it. So this card is super powerful, is really, really strong. But I do think it is a little niche in some instances when you would rather just play the bodies that you have in your hand. If you ever see this card, you're going to hold it in your hand for the right specific time to play it, and it give you the maximum value. And we are running 1 non-existent memories, 2 energy, 1 action point active in life. And it says choose up to 1 aoitodo and up to 1 character other than aoitodo in your field. They each gain 1000 BP till the end of the turn. If you chose 2 cards with this ability, give the chosen aoitodo impact 1 until the end of the turn. This is so strong, being able to boost your board up, being able to boost your todos up, and then giving them another instance of impact. And it is just, you know, another active trigger in life. This card is so strong. I like seeing it as a 1 of. And I know that this seems like a hot mess of a bunch of random different things, but it worked out. I got to play 4 games with it throughout the weekend. Every game, I didn't feel like, you know, I high rolled the first game I played with it, and I was like, oh my god, this deck is busted. Then I got a little more, you know, having to play around stuff, but I did not ever feel like I was out of the game. I felt like every card was very, very impactful. The only thing I felt like I was missing was sometimes another case of that Miwa that we mentioned earlier, the when played draw card. And that one is really, really good. But like I said, you could do other things. If you wanted just to take out the non-existent memories, throw 1 in, or, you know, maybe switch out the lines of the other characters, or you could just take out the Fushiguros. But I really do love the Fushiguro. I know that it does not have synergy with the deck, but it's just good purple cards, and sometimes stats are just enough to win you the game. These are the action points I chose. I actually pulled the foil version of this action point, and it looks absolutely sick. But that is the deck profile, y'all. I am super excited that my boy Toto got some support. I know it wasn't a ton of cards for him entirely, right? It was really just this card for him specific, but I think that this Mechamaru package, splitting the deck between the two, they're both kyotojujutsuhigh, so they're meant to play together. I think a lot of people out there are trying to separate these two things, but I think they're played better together in a kind of hybrid toolbox deck, which is what we've seen a lot of purple decks in the card game do so well with. But that is a deck profile. Please let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know if you build this deck and try it out. I'll be sure to leave the whole deck profile at the end of the video for y'all to screenshot. But I did use EXPerts to do this. I do love this site. I do appreciate it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're going to build this deck. And if you do, tell me how you do in your local tournaments. I promise you this deck is scary. Damage 2 and then getting instance of impact is so strong. But leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all y'all hanging out with me today. Peace.